At my college alumni reunion, I got a call confirming my newly inherited billion-dollar fortune had arrived. Finally, I could buy that private island for my beloved son to roam free. But as soon as I hung up, my manipulative ex-roommate, Tiffany, suddenly stepped forward, clutching her flat stomach. She waved a crumpled pregnancy test result, demanding $5 million. Tears streamed down her face as she accused my son of sexual assault, claiming he defiled her and left her with an unwanted pregnancy. If I didn't pay, she threatened to leak a video and destroy my family's future. All the alumni pressured me to pay up and make the problem disappear. I looked at her greedy face and almost burst out laughing. My son is a purebred Savannah cat worth $300,000. Interspecies reproduction? She was trying to defy the very laws of carbon-based life and reproductive biology. $5 million. $1 less, and I'll abort this thing tomorrow. Tiffany's shrill voice, like nails on a chalkboard, instantly shattered the pleasant clinking of glasses in the luxurious private room. She slammed a champagne flute onto the table, splashing red wine onto my designer dress. I didn't react with anger. I just watched her calmly. Tiffany mistook my composure for guilt. A look of triumphant glee, a petty joy, immediately bloomed on her face, which was slightly rigid from too much filler. Teetering on stiletto heels, swaying her hips dramatically, she walked over to me. With 2 fingers, she clutched a crumpled paper and slapped it onto the small side plate in front of me with a sharp smack. Open your damn eyes and look closely. An ultrasound from Maria Private Hospital. 8 weeks pregnant, confirmed intrauterine. She deliberately puffed out her flat stomach, then pointed a condescending finger at my nose, spitting as she spoke. Harper, your bastard of a son made this mess, and you have to take responsibility today. If you don't fork over $5 million for emotional damages and support costs. Not only will I abort the baby, but I'll also post everything online, ruin your family forever, and make sure you're disgraced. The spacious private room fell silent. Dozens of eyes stared at me, shining like searchlights. Chad, the former student body president, sitting at the head of the table, was the first to break the silence. He lit a cigar, exhaled a puff of smoke, and his eyes were full of contempt. Well, Harper, I never would have guessed. 4 years of college, acting like such a pure and innocent girl, only to secretly raise a son who's a sexual assailant. If this gets out, our entire graduating class will be humiliated because of you. Ashley, the former literary club star, immediately swarmed over like a fly smelling blood. Exactly. Tiffany is such a sweet, innocent girl. She'd never even held a man's hand, and your son just ruined her like this. $5 million is being merciful. I overheard you talking on the phone in the hallway just now, saying something about buying a private island. Since you're so rich, just pay up and shut her up. If this goes to the police, your son could end up in jail. I leaned back against the velvet chair, watching these good alumni full of righteous indignation. It was utterly absurd. My son? I'm only 26 years old. I haven't even had a serious boyfriend, let alone a son. My only son was the purebred Savannah cat I kept at home, over 3 feet long, bought for $300,000 from a top international breeder. Because of his pure lineage, he looked like a small leopard. On my Instagram stories, I'd often call him my big guy. The alumni reunion was incredibly boring, so I'd slipped into the hallway to answer a call from my family trust attorney. I'd casually mentioned, the inheritance paperwork is done. I can finally buy that private island for my boy so he doesn't have to be cooped up in the mansion all day. I didn't expect Tiffany, who was out for a makeup touch-up, to overhear me. And I certainly didn't expect her to fabricate such a ridiculous lie, one that defied all logic and biology, just to extort money. A cat getting a human pregnant? Why didn't she just apply for a Nobel Prize in biology? I watched Tiffany's face, slightly twisted by extreme greed, but I didn't get angry. Instead, I picked up a glass of sparkling water in front of me and took a small sip. Are you sure that what you're carrying in your womb is my son's? I deliberately lowered my voice, feigning shock and fear. Tiffany's eyes lit up like searchlights when she saw my expression. She thought she'd found my weak spot, immediately put her hands on her hips, and raised her voice an octave. Of course. If it's not your son's, then whose is it? A ghost's. I'm Tiffany. I'm a good girl. If your son hadn't, fueled by alcohol, forcibly dragged me into a hotel room last month on the 10th. As she spoke, she managed to squeeze out 2 theatrical tears and dramatically covered her face. My life is ruined because of him. Harper, I'm telling you, this isn't over today. 5 million, not a penny less. Otherwise, I'll call 911 right now and make sure your son rots in jail. Chad immediately banged the table beside her, making the cutlery clatter. Call the police. She should call the police. This kind of scumbag shouldn't be let off the hook. However, he changed his tone, his eyes glinting with cunning and calculation. We're all old classmates, after all. If it really goes to the precinct, Harper, you'll be humiliated. Since you're rich enough to buy an island now, you don't lack a mere 5 million. Pay up and avoid trouble. Just transfer the money. Don't be unreasonable. Ashley also fanned the flames. Exactly. Your son did something so despicable, and you still have the nerve to sit here drinking water? Hurry up and pay. Do you really want to see your son in handcuffs? The surrounding alumni whispered and pointed. Like mother, like son. Typical new money. Thinking a few bucks buys you the right to ruin an innocent woman? Just pay up, you're shameless. All sorts of ugly insults, like dirty water from a sewer, splashed over me. I looked at their hideous faces and, instead of getting angry, I smiled. I put down my glass, looked up, my gaze like a knife, piercing Tiffany. Call the police, you say? Fine. However, 5 million isn't a small amount. Empty words mean nothing. How do I know you're not trying to extort me with a fake pregnancy test that anyone could buy online? Tiffany jumped up like a wildcat whose tail had been stepped on. I'm extorting you? Your son did this, and you dare to accuse me? Fine, you want proof? I'll show you today. 2. Tiffany impatiently grabbed her knockoff designer bag from the table. She unzipped it and pulled out a stack of pre-printed A4 papers. She raised her hand and flung them hard. A dozen papers scattered like snowflakes across the wide glass Lazy Susan. Open your damn eyes and look closely. This is the ironclad evidence of your son's crime. Chad, quick-handed, snatched a few papers, cleared his throat, and read aloud. Oh, wow. These chat logs are seriously spicy. You're so good tonight, I'm still sore. Next time, let's go to that adult hotel again. Don't be scared, baby. If you're pregnant, I'll take responsibility. Chad read, emitting a particularly vulgar laugh. Tisk, TSK, TSK, Harper, I never would have thought your son really knows how to have a good time. Ashley leaned over for a look, then immediately covered her mouth, feigning disgust. Oh my God, that's disgusting. How can he say such vulgar things? The evidence is undeniable. Harper, what do you have to say for yourself? The alumni boiled over again. Accusations and curses surged like waves. It was as if I had become an unforgivable sinner, and they were righteous crusaders sent by the moon to eliminate me. I casually picked up the A4 paper closest to me. I glanced at the screenshot of the Snapchat chat. I almost couldn't hold back a laugh. The forgery was so poor, it was an insult to anyone's intelligence. Tiffany. I held the paper with 2 fingers, shaking it in the air, my tone full of mockery. This is your ironclad evidence. What is there a problem with it? Tiffany jutted out her chin, but her eyes couldn't help but dart away. There's a huge problem. I scoffed. First, the profile picture on the Snapchat is a generic stock photo of a handsome guy. Second, the time on these chat logs is 3 a.m. on the 10th of last month. My son goes to sleep at 10 p.m. sharp every night, without fail. Not even thunder can wake him up. Did he sleepwalk and chat you up with his paws? Tiffany's face changed slightly, but she quickly became defiant again, crossing her arms. Don't try to twist words here. What if he deliberately used a stock photo to trick me? What if he stayed up late behind your back? You're his mom. Can you watch him every second? Don't try to get out of this. Chad immediately jumped in to help, pointing his finger at my nose. Exactly. Don't you know what kind of person your son is, Harper? What mother would admit her son is a scumbag? The chat logs are here in black and white, and you still want to deny it? Are you trying to back out of paying? I ignored Chad's barking and just stared intently at Tiffany. All right, even if the chat logs are real, didn't you just say you have a video of my son in bed with you? I leaned forward, my gaze instantly becoming sharp, exerting immense pressure on her. Show me the video. Let me fully appreciate how my son forced you. Tiffany's breathing hitched. She instinctively clutched her phone, her eyes starting to dart around frantically. The video is too graphic. How can I show something like that in public? Do you have no shame? She tried to use moralizing to cover up her extreme guilt. Ashley quickly chimed in, looking righteous. Harper, how can you be so vicious? Tiffany is an innocent girl. Forcing her to show a video like that in public, aren't you trying to drive her to the edge? You want to see it, fine. Tiffany suddenly raised her voice, as if she'd found a lifeline, her eyes becoming extremely greedy. You give me a $2 million deposit first. Once the money is in my account, I'll send the video to you alone. Otherwise, no way. I looked at her, stubborn to the very end, refusing to admit defeat. I completely understood her scheme. This was an elaborate, carefully planned scam. Using a few forged chat logs and a fake pregnancy test, leveraging the pressure of the large alumni gathering. She was trying to slut-shame me and morally blackmail me, forcing me to pay for my newly inherited fortune for the sake of face and reputation. $2 million deposit? I curved my lips into a cold smile, looking at her as if she were already dead. Tiffany, do you think I'm a money printer or your personal ATM? Without tangible video evidence. Forget $2 million. You won't even get $2. I leaned back in my chair, crossing my arms, my posture relaxed but radiating absolute dominance. You won't show it? Fine. Then let's call the police right now. Let the officers and the forensics team come and determine where you photoshopped this pregnancy test and these chat logs for a few bucks. Saying this, I pulled out my phone, pretending to dial 91. Tiffany completely panicked. She lunged forward, grabbing my hand, her nails almost digging into my flesh. What are you doing? Do you really think I won't show it? She glared at me, gritting her teeth, a hint of madness and desperation flashing in her eyes. Fine, since you insist on seeing proof to believe it, I'll give you what you want today. Let everyone see your sexual assailant son's ugly face. 3. Tiffany, like a gambler who'd lost everything, had completely lost her mind. She shoved me away and pulled a small phone stand from her bag. She snapped it open and slammed it onto the glass Lazy Susan in the center of the dining table. Then she skillfully clipped her phone into it and opened a live stream on a short video platform. Hey, everyone, come check this out. She faced the camera, instantly adopting a tragic, heartbroken, crying voice. I'm a helpless woman being oppressed by the powerful. Today, I'm going to publicly expose a vicious, spoiled rich kid. Her son sexually assaulted me, causing me to get pregnant. Now, she not only denies it, but also tries to frame me, trying to push me to my death. Everyone, please judge for yourselves. Chad and Ashley, seeing this, didn't stop her. Instead, they excitedly crowded in front of the camera, desperately trying to get views. Everyone, please judge for yourselves. We're all old classmates. We can't stand to watch this kind of bullying. Today, we must get justice for Tiffany. We can't let the rich get away with everything. The number of viewers in the live stream began to skyrocket. Because the title was so explosive, it jumped from dozens to tens of thousands in an instant. The comment section exploded, scrolling so fast it was almost impossible to see faces. Holy crap. A rapist? Lock him up. Life in prison. Can rich people do whatever they want? Dox her. Dig up all her dirt. That woman looks mean. She can't be good. Call the police and arrest her son. No private settlements. Justice must prevail. Tiffany watched the overwhelming public opinion in the live stream, unable to hide her smugness, her mouth curling into a triumphant smile. She shot me a provocative look, her eyes screaming, "You're finished." You wanted to see the video? Now I'm going to show it to the entire internet. Let's see how you deny it today. She opened a video file on another phone and aimed it directly at the live stream camera. A series of heart-pounding, heavy gasps immediately filled the private room. The video quality was blurry, as if shot with a pinhole camera. On the screen, a man and a woman were entangled on a large bed. The woman's face was deliberately heavily pixelated. The man's face, though distorted by unnatural light and slightly blurry at the edges, still appeared to be a rather handsome, muscular young man. Chad let out a loud, vulgar whistle. Wow, Harper, your son actually looks pretty good. Those abs are nice. He seems pretty experienced at this kind of thing. Probably ruined a lot of young girls, huh? Ashley covered her eyes, shrieking, but peered through her fingers, staring intently at the screen. That's so vulgar. Turn it off. It's unwatchable. The live stream comments instantly exploded, causing the server to lag for a moment. Confirmed. The guy's face is clear. Screenshot and report to the police immediately. That's disgusting. He even recorded it. He's definitely a repeat offender. Suggest sending the video directly to the police. Don't let this animal get away with it. This girl is so pathetic. To be ruined like that, I support her demanding $50 million. I watched the video. The sheer absurdity of it all was overwhelming. Not only had she forged chat logs, she had even used deepfake technology, found a random stock photo of a handsome guy, and merged an indecent pornographic video. And then she insisted this was my sexual assailant son. Utterly, spectacularly stupid. But I didn't expose her immediately. Give them enough rope to hang themselves. I would use the very live stream she started to pin the blame squarely on her. I stood up, walked to the camera, and looked directly at Tiffany's smug face. Tiffany, be clear. Are you saying that if I give you $5 million today, you'll delete this video permanently and promise not to pursue any legal action against my son, right? Tiffany saw that I had finally caved, and she was so excited her voice trembled violently. Her eyes practically glowed with greed. Yes, she announced loudly to the live stream camera, as if she already had the $5 million in her hand. As long as you transfer $5 million to me right now, this matter will be settled privately. I'll immediately delete the video completely and go to the hospital tomorrow to abort the baby. After this, we go our separate ways, and I'll never bother you again. All right. I nodded, my tone so calm it was as if I was discussing the weather. Words aren't enough. Since we're settling privately, there should be some paperwork. Otherwise, what if you come back tomorrow demanding $10 million? Tiffany was clearly prepared. She had even thought of an escape route. She immediately pulled 2 printed compensation and forgiveness agreements and a pen from her bag. She slammed them onto the table. Sign it. It's written clearly in black and white. As soon as the money is transferred, this agreement takes effect. All the viewers on the internet can be witnesses. I picked up the agreement and quickly scanned its contents. It was full of malicious accusations of my son's sexual assault and an exorbitant clause stating my voluntary compensation of $5 million for emotional damages. Sign it. What are you waiting for? Chad impatiently urged from the side. Just sign it and pay, so we can all leave. Don't waste everyone's time. Exactly. Paying $5 million for your son's freedom, you're getting a great deal. Ashley also chimed in. Other alumni also pressured me, their eyes full of schadenfreude, watching the show. I held the pen, looking at Tiffany's face, twisted and deformed by extreme greed. A barely perceptible cold smile curved my lips.